WWE Clash of Champions is September 25th, and it's interesting to me having two pay-per-views a month again. The brand split is now in full effect, and the only thing I have a problem with is them calling it, for example, the Raw Tag Team titles or the Raw Women's Title. They've been doing that for SmackDown, so it's just going to be a thing now. So let's just start off with the Raw Tag Team titles, or the WWE Tag Team Championships. It's going to be weird calling them the Raw titles since they've been the WWE titles for like so many years now. But the New Day defend against Gallows Anderson once again. Before we go into the matches, I just want to say Clash of Champions, excuse me, is an interesting pay-per-view name, especially since WCW's Clash of the Champions was a weekly or bi-weekly or bi-monthly like show on TBS the longest time, and it became a pay-per-view, and then WCW folded. So this is the first time in a while we've used this kind of name for a major show like this. Maybe even since 2001. We don't know for sure exactly, but that's at least I don't remember exactly, because there might have been something for TNA that was Clash of Champion or something. I don't remember, but the fact is it's a big opportunity for a lot of guys here. But speaking of that, they have the Raw Tag titles, or the tag titles. The New Day defend against Gallows and Anderson, and it's interesting because Gallows and Anderson are no longer doctors; they are now retirement specialists, and we saw the old Day on Raw last night, and it's interesting to me just having that kind of parallel universe thing going on there. But this is just something for them to do at this point. I don't know what they're gonna do. WWE doesn't really want to push them like they did with the club, so just giving them jobs. Back in the day when a gimmick was a job, at that point, a job was a gimmick. They had garbage men, they had fucking Mounties, fucking police officers, fucking clowns. Everything. It's a new generation up in this bitch because they have fucking retirement specialists now. It's fucking ridiculous. And I'm just gonna say that New Day is gonna hold on all the way to demolition, because there's no way that this kind of Gallows and Anderson are gonna hold the titles. If Gallows and Anderson were gonna hold the titles, they would keep with the Bullet Club. They would keep expanding it. They would keep expanding the club, not the Bullet Club. Excuse me, whatever they want to call it. And that's a thing there. But yeah, New Day retain. Next up, a rematch for the Women's Championship as Charlotte defends against Sasha Banks. Sasha basically came back and said she's 100% back to compete. It's kind of interesting because they've been pushing Bayley for a while, and I would have thought this would have been Bayley versus Charlotte. But they have to get the rematch out of the way, so you might as well do it. I don't want to see a hot potato of the belt. A lot of people don't like seeing a hot potato of the belt, but if you were to do it, this would be the match to do it with. I would have Sasha win back the belt and just have them keep going back and forth for it for a while. Especially since Sasha didn't get a proper reign with the title. Like maybe Dana screws up and Sasha wins the belt back or something. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte retained the belt, but we didn't see Sasha do it, so anything's possible at this point. And finally, for the first time ever, the Universal Championship will be defended on pay-per-view, or network special, whatever you want to call it. Because they still do pay-per-view, it probably doesn't draw as well with the network being a thing. As the new champion, Kevin Owens defends against Seth Rollins. Now, for those who don't know, Finn Balor got injured during the match at SummerSlam with Rollins. Kind of like a buckle bomb to the barricade. Just messed up his shoulder. He popped it back in. God's last gift, excuse me. Popped the shoulder back out of the socket. He'll be out of action for 6 months. They have to vacate the title, which is something you don't want with your first ever champion to happen. For any title, a first ever champion, you wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. So they had a series of matches to have a new Universal Champion. It was Roman Reigns, Big Cass, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins for matches for like in a fatal four-way elimination. Owens won with the help of Triple H, who we haven't seen since WrestleMania, which really says a lot about how the potential of Owens is. And Owens came out in a suit, which is something we don't see with Kevin Owens. I don't think I've ever seen with Kevin Owens. Even with his days as Kevin Cena, I've never seen a guy in a suit. Looked great. But with that, Mick Foley overruled Stephanie McMahon, and the rematch will... I don't know if you call this a rematch, because it was for a vacant title. But due to the circumstances of the finish of that match, a rematch is granted by Mick Foley. And we will have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. However, next week on Raw, Roman Reigns will face Kevin Owens, and if Roman somehow wins, this becomes a freeway for the belt. Which I would not be happy about, because the guy should still be punished for his suspension, but whatever. With that being said, for this current match, at its current state, I would not be surprised if Rollins won the title. But again, Triple H is back. We haven't seen him since last week, so he could be in the corner of Kevin Owens, and Stephanie and Mick could be in the corner of Seth Rollins or something. And something of that nature happens. I don't know. But as far as I can believe, you would want the longest reigning Universal Champion, albeit for 7 days or 8 days now. Even though it's not short, it's still the longest reigning champion because of Finn Balor's unfortunate injury. So you'd want him to hold the title even longer to solidify that reign as the second ever Universal Champion. One thing I do want to say about the belt in general, though, I mean, it looks better in these pictures it's showing. Just when you have the lights on live, it looks ridiculous. But in this kind of picture, it doesn't look bad. It has a darker red, so it looks a little better compared to what was like a lighter kind of shiny red, which a red stripe on a belt in general is not really all that good in general. But with that being said, I mean, I feel like Owens will retain just because of all the things happening with the ESPN idiot. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up I'm gonna butcher his name, but Amin Hamid or whatever the fuck. I've never heard of the guy before since then. But the reaction of him over Owen, which is Kevin Owens' son, with his Owen being autistic, is something you never touch. You never fucking touch that. I don't care who you are. You don't make fun of people with special needs. That is a fucking thing with being. You don't fucking do that. Just for that alone, I feel Owens should retain the title, just to stick it to that motherfucker. But regardless, Clash of Champions is September 25th, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we might see Halloween Havoc at this point. Who fucking knows? Halloween Havoc, why not?